Good evening, and welcome to a new edition of Real World News TV. I'm your host, Reggie Kearney, and my co-host, Sharon Tappet, is a little bit under the weather. Please keep her in your prayers. And tonight we have with us the boss lady, Tony Breedlove. Tony, what's up?
Stop saying that. How are
Boss
you?
lady, I'm doing fine. Doing fine. I can't complain. Trying to stay warm over here on the East Coast. Been a little chilly.
Yeah, you
Today was
guys
nice.
are getting slammed. You've been
Yeah,
slammed with snow.
yeah. We had a little heat wave
Mm,
today. I think we got it into near 50 today, so that's good. But your
really?
body, when you used to going almost 3 weeks of cold weather and you get some warm weather on top, you still feel cold.
Oh
So
yeah.
hey,
Oh
it
yeah.
is what it is. It's either that or I'm just getting old. I got low blood, as the old folks say.
Well,
Oh
it has
boy.
been relatively nice here in Las Vegas for the winter. I think we were up to like 59, 60 degrees today. Last night it was cold. I turned the heater on for the
Okay.
first time. So that was
Hmm.
unusual. And then woke up, felt like it was in this sauna because I forgot to turn it
Hmm.
off. But it was kind of nice. It was kind of nice today, nice and sunny.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So
Especially,
tonight we're talking about Black History Month. You know, we got our 28 days started today. But when we look at Black History Month this this month, and what it means to us, we've got to look at the fact that it's under attack at this time,
hmm
especially in the schools and mainly in the schools, because what's happening? These conservative parents, uh, they're focused on the Board of Education now. So they're thinking if we can focus on the Board of Education, that is a small victory for us if we can control what our kids are taught. Okay. And what's
right.
happening is kids aren't really learning anything. Because parents, today's white parent and some blacks, but the majority of white conservative parents, they don't want their kids to know about slavery and the Jim Crow era and what people had to do what blacks had to do to fight to get that vote, you know. And I think the kids need to know it. I think you need to know history or you are doomed to repeat it. Okay. And so I don't see nothing wrong with the kids learning about what their great granddaddy and a great great granddaddy did. I don't have a problem with it. What you think?
Me neither. Show's over. Like,
But it's
mean,
a fight out.
yeah, but I agree with you. Um, I think we're doing our children a disservice uh, with not providing them with the information that has come before them. Because how do you develop young people into some of the roles that it's going to take to run this country? Because
Mhm.
it's going to take people who are, fighters of freedom. It's going to take people who believe in justice rather than injustice to make these changes in our legal systems and just in everyday life. If they don't understand or know the history, if we don't teach them the history, then how and what are we expecting from them and to whom they will turn out to be? Because that's a part of who we are is what we learn,
Mhm.
and what we fight for is what we learn.
Mhm.
And if you keep this away from these children as they get older, you think they confused now? Just wait. They won't know what direction to take. They won't understand government. They won't understand
Mhm.
laws. They won't understand anything. They won't understand, how human beings should be treated.
Mhm.
Then they will run amok in the schoolyard. That's the
Well,
way
they're
I look
already
at it.
doing that. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
already doing that.
yeah, but
We
I
had
truly agree with you.
And here in the DC area, we are fortunate that we can have Black History 365 days because we do have the African American History Museum here in the Washington area. But when you go to visit that museum, you see the white population is almost very, very almost 0%. They're there, but the numbers are very small. So
Hmm.
that tells me that they're not interested in the history either. And I hope that everyone, sometimes in their lifetime, can come to Washington and go to the African American History Museum to really see our history. Okay, if you want to spend an afternoon, really spend an afternoon of 3 or 4 hours in a museum, then that's the place to be. To see where we came from. Okay, now you take those critical race theories, uh, 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 those whites that are against critical race theory. Would they carry their kids to the African American History Museum? The answer is probably no. Okay,
No,
because
what reason would they have to?
but they need to carry them, and I think if those parents would go and look at the history, they will understand the history, and that's the problem. They don't understand the history.
But see,
You know.
also the issue is that if you really look at it and if you break it down, let's say with the uh, with the Museum of History, Black History, kids would be the ones that would hear about it from other children in school or from what they're taught, right? So the parents are not going to be the ones that are going to make the suggestion or prompt the visit. The kids are the ones who will say, "Mom, you know what? Little Johnny, my black friend, told me about this museum. I want to go."
Hmm. Uh-huh.
They prompt the parents, because if the parents aren't already fighting to keep Black history in the schools as part of the curriculum, what reason do they have to bring up the Museum
Hmm.
of Black History? The kids would
But
be the one that bring that
yeah,
up.
but the parents need to go. I think everybody in America, which is impossible, needs to go to this museum because
Yeah,
this is one location where everything is in there that
right.
you would ever need to know about Black history.
Because that's
Okay.
going to be my plan. I've never
Yeah.
gone,
Oh,
but
you.
with me traveling,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to be a stop for me.
Yeah.
But I've never gone, and then I mean, I know that I am going to go. What my reaction will probably be even more devastating with what we live with every day.
Yeah.
Um, to see it up close and personal.
Yeah.
I know what's there, but just to see it and lay eyes on it
Hmm.
is gonna probably change me forever.
But you have a range of emotions. From happy to sad to in between. Because you see the worst of our history, which is our history. Then you see as you get towards the end of the museum, you see the best of our history. And then you have all those emotions in between.
Hmm.
I've been a couple of times, and
Hmm.
and it's something to see each time you go. You learn something new.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um, Black our history is important, and you got people who've got to understand, especially African Americans or blacks. They have to understand how important this history is because our kids are off the chain right now. Here in this area, we're having problems with carjackings, and the age range is about 14 to 17. We're having murders now, and the young people are committing. I think in the last couple of weeks, maybe two young men between the ages of 15 and 17 have died in the streets of DC. So got a lot going on here, and I think the kids do not know any better because they don't know the history, so they can't appreciate the fact that they have to do different. You know, they have to be different. You
Yeah,
know, you have to
and
honor the history.
and see, and
You know,
that's the part I think that it it saddens me. It really does put a damper on my day when I
hmm
think about stuff like that, because it just reminds me of that Michael Jackson video "Scream." The
hmm
lyrics in that video, in that song, is a lot of what I feel when I see that our Black people they haven't taken our lives seriously. You know, they don't have an appreciation of where they come from. They
hmm
don't have a an appreciation for the fact that there were people who died, who gave their life for them to have rights, to stop being thought of as animals or less than animals. Just, it really does. It makes me sad because I just want
hmm
to take some of these young people and just shake the pure shit out of them because they don't get it. They
hmm
don't get it. And they walk around here as if something is owed to them, you know? And I think that's the part that makes me so angry in there.
hmm
They don't have a conception of life itself. They don't have a conception of what self-respect is, nor is there a conception of respecting someone else. They just don't have it, and that just infuriates me. It
hmm
infuriates me when I see young people walk around here with their pants sagging and they talking all bad, and they're uh, denigrating women and men and saying that they not this and they not that, and it just, like Michael Jackson says, makes me want to scream.
hmm
It really honestly makes me want to scream.
And the crime rate among our young people is sky high right now. You look at
Mhm.
them; they're doing all these smash and grabs, and I mean, you know, do you need Louis Vuitton that bad where you got to go in the Louis Vuitton store and steal everything? I mean, what's so great about wearing stuff from a man who really doesn't give a crap about you?
Yeah.
You know, but you breaking your neck to steal his items. Okay,
But
you know,
the,
so
the point is, but the operative word there that you said, they're stealing.
yeah.
You know, what makes you think that you're entitled to something just because you smash a window and you can go in and
hmm
get it? You haven't worked a day
Yeah,
for what you're taking. It doesn't, people don't owe you nothing.
right. But they feel that way. They feel like they're old. That hey, you know, they feel like the people can you know they'll earn it back. You know, it won't hurt them. Insurance will pay for it. And insurance won't pay for it. We had
No,
we having smashing grabs in this area now of uh eye eye stores, eye doctors, and things of that nature. So this one guy's an independent, and they uh did a smash and grab at one of his location last week, and
hmm
the owner said that the one thing you got to realize when the kids, young black kids came in there, the first thing they want to know where was the Cartier eye frames at, and you know the clerk said, well, here they are. They looked at each other, winked, pulled out the hammers, and went to town on that store. They stole about $17,000 in eye frames. This guy's an independent. He said it's
he's not gonna
losing
make that
seventeen
money back.
thousand designer is going to kill him. Even with insurance, it's going to kill him.
It's not gonna pay for it.
Yeah, to replace it. You know, but you have people out here on the market that will buy some frames, hold on to them till they ready to get their eye prescription redone, and go in there with the frames. Oh, I already got my frames. You know,
Exactly.
so
Exactly.
it's sad. You know, and it pains me to see our young people. That's what you see on TV. That's what you see the picture of young black kids terrorizing these stores. You know.
But see, and that's the part where it 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 makes me think that we have forgotten about Black History, Black History Month.
Hmm.
Um, and as a Black woman, and I don't know if you can agree with this as a Black man, but I celebrate my history. I celebrate my Blackness every day I get up, um, because I'm proud to be a Black woman. I'm proud of the
Hmm.
melanin in my skin. Um, so I do my best to wear it well and to be an example. But I don't need 28 days to make things special.
Hmm.
But with those who recognize these 28 days, are you truly recognizing it, for what it is? Are you celebrating the accomplishments of our people, our ancestors, where we come from, what we've strived so hard to do throughout, these years,
Hmm.
since the first landing of a ship here in the United States? That's that's my question.
Hmm.
Is what are they
But
doing to celebrate it except for going to a parade?
yeah, well, I think it's too. I think too. We need to celebrate every day.
Yeah.
I mean, we put special focus on Black History Month every February. We put special emphasis on Black history. That's something we need to put emphasis on every day of the year. Okay,
Hmm.
we
Hmm.
got to teach our kids. Yeah, we're gonna have church programs at our churches to celebrate Black History Month. We're gonna talk about a couple key people. You're gonna see them the morning shows, Steve Harvey and all those guys. Highlighting somebody for the next 28 days. But after the month is gone, it seems like we forget it again until the next year. You
That's
know,
the part that I think infuriates me.
yeah,
Every day, I mean, we see Black folks every day.
yeah.
So why aren't we celebrating
Hmm.
these Black people every day?
Hmm.
Instead of waiting for, this white man that gave us this freedom to have, a month to
Yeah.
ourselves. Well, damn you.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see Harriet Tubman now jacking up some of those kids doing the smash and grab. She been done shot a couple of them.
exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
'cause she would have been and
Exactly.
beat them down with the handle of the gun to say, "Look, why are you in here stealing? Why are you embarrassing the black race, the African American race? Why are you embarrassing them?" That's what they don't understand. And coming up, if a kid went out of line in the community or adult, what did the old folks say? Here they go embarrassing our people again.
Yep.
Because the generation before us, our parents and our grandparents, they didn't like that stuff. They didn't tolerate that
No.
stuff because
No.
they had a pride about themselves and they were trying to live a certain way because of the indignities that they had gone through. Okay, so they were trying to live, a very proud life. And to them, when somebody stepped out of line, that was an embarrassment to the whole community, not
Exactly.
just some of the community. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what the whole thing. Uh, and we got to do better. We've got
But
to
how?
do better,
But how?
and that's the $1 million question. But
I
how?
mean, I think that in a lot of ways, I think that we do our part
Hmm.
when we talk about these shows. We do our part to bring things to light to people, provide them with information, uh, whether it's on Urban Sentinel, Real World, or the other two shows. You know,
Hmm.
we try and we try and give folks something that they can hold on to, something that's tangible. You know, something that they can identify with. Whether it be Urban Sentinel, Real World News, or shoot, Hot Topics has their own way in their own way, you
Right.
know. But and then there's uh, Truth Brothers TV, and now there's Cutting It Close with Cece. But we try and do these things in our own way to be able to unify uh, people, not just Black folks, because we got, other people from other races listening in too. But there's always going to be, I think, in all of these shows, a unification value uh, that is needed, because you have people that are unifying from all over the country um, in one area for 1 hour, that they can talk, that they can,
Hmm.
uh, they can share ideas, they can do all kind of different things. We do it in our way, but then there are a lot of people who they don't even get off the couch. They don't do anything. So how do we how do we become part of the change?
Well, we're working on that right now by talking about it. You got to realize that some people really don't care. Some people in our community, the black community, don't care about the history one way or the other. They can lay down on the couch all day long and not even think about it, not go vote, not do anything. They satisfied with life. They're happy as it is. They accept life for what it is. Then you have people like us. We out here killing ourselves trying to make sure that we sound the alarm, and they're not listening. I mean, this is Black History for this month. Okay. Granted, we've had a lot of pioneers that have come over the years. Okay. And they have made their mark. But this is one of those Black History months where we need to look at all the uh, negative stuff that's taking place in our community, like the death of George Floyd and all, the deaths of the many people that we've lost to at the hands of police officers and things like that. That's what this month needs to be about. I mean, we need to keep focus on the atrocities that have taken place in our community against us as people.
Mm,
We can't overlook those because George Floyd is Black history. You know,
you got that
uh,
right.
Ahmaud Arbery is Black history.
Black history.
Castilla is Black history.
We can go
Michael
on and
Brown
on.
is Black history. We could get 28 days of celebration
A
just
celebration
talking about
of
the
folks
people,
that we've lost.
yeah, folks
And
that we lost
injustice.
or have been wounded. Okay, you
Yeah,
know, and that's Black history. And I
yeah.
think when it comes down to it, that's when these white conservative parents, along with a few of their Black cohorts, get so bent out of shape because they know what they have done. They know what members of their community have done to us, and they don't want to keep rehashing it. But you need to rehash it. Your kids need to hear about it, so they won't repeat the same crap 20 years down the road.
But I think it's just that fear, because there are very few people, whites, who don't have a problem with talking about race, because I truly do believe that there are quite a few, if I should say a lot, who want to see change because they have either people they work with that they care about, they have friends who are of color, they have grandbabies and babies who are of color. Um, so it's not like, it's this great escape, like they can get away from Black folks. They really do care about the causes. But I don't think that a lot of them have a problem with talking about race. I really don't. There are those who don't want to talk about it and get offended by it. Because I can't remember if it was Jacqueline's comment. Let me, I think it was Jacqueline had commented. Uh, oh, it's so far up, I can't even find it. She was saying that our kids have the right to know about our history. but I think that their children have a right to know about our history as well, because it's not just going to be our history. Their history is a part of this too. It's the history of this country. It's the history of slavery. It's the history of, the atrocities, like you mentioned, along the way since 1619. These
Mhm.
are the things that we share as a history. The unfortunate part is that it is separated by the color of our skin. Whether the history of white folks was something that they can be proud of or not, it's still history. And like you said, you're doomed to repeat it if you don't know it.
Mhm. Mhm. Um, when you look at what they have done in our community, they have in Texas is a prime state because they always redoing their history books, but they want to show 90% of the European history and maybe
Less than
5 to 10% of our history. They want to show Obama becoming president or the March on Washington with Martin Luther King. They don't want to dig down into the dirty history, stuff that they did to our community. They don't want the kids to know about that, you
But
know.
you have to dig down to the dirt in order to make something grow.
Yeah, but they
Um,
don't. They want to control. See, that's the thing. They want to control what's taught in the schools,
but you
and
can't
so
control the narrative of things that are truth. I mean, there's no controlling of the narrative for that,
yeah. But if you
because it is
if you
what
look
it
in
is.
if you look in the red states, they are making it hard to teach Black history in the public schools. When you take out To Kill a Mockingbird
Mm.
because it has racial overtones. I mean, the time that book was written and the movie was written during that time, that's what it was. Okay, what you
Yeah,
saw in the movie, that's what it was.
that's what
Okay,
it was.
so why are you so scared of your kid reading To Kill a Mockingbird? They took one of Toni Morrison's books out of in Tennessee. They took one of her books off the shelf. What are you scared of?
You know, someone had told me, this was probably a few years ago,
Hmm.
the reason why you don't find people of non-color, of white descent, uh, you find that they don't want to talk about it because they're afraid of the pushback, or it could be the retaliation. It could be, now they're not sitting comfortably anymore, and that's why that it's not being talked about. That's why it's been such a push and a huge effort to get the history taken out, or like I said, whitewashed.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't understand the fear of being pushed back or retaliation. Hell, you have retaliation every time you got a black kid that's shot down in the street. And shit, okay, so we burned a couple of things down,
Hmm.
okay, to show our anger. All right, well, that's what's going to happen. But the point is that if you talk about it, you run the better risk of not having that pushback. I mean, and then you run the risk of having pushback only when you open your mouth and say stupid shit, you know, in response to whatever that conversation is. A lot of
Hmm.
times they just have to learn how to sit back and listen and not challenge us on something that we know that are truths.
Hmm.
And that's what it's about. It's about, can they challenge what we're saying is truth? They don't want us to give the truth. It's just like during the time when Obama was running for the presidency, and you had people like Candace Owens. So you have her in this forum where she's pushing hard for the right, And every time they bring up a fact about Obama, she has to come right back strong, and she has to talk over you, and she has to yell. She has to take control of the guy. That is what the problem would be. That's why they don't want to talk about the history of this country when it comes to blacks. That's why. Because they can't, you're not going to be able to have that pushback and think that there's not going to be any retaliation for your stupidity. That's why. And it's cowardly. It's cowardly if you cannot sit and have a conversation and be willing to hear the truth.
Mm-hmm. Now I tell you, I felt some kind of way after I looked at that first night of Roots.
Of course you did.
I was ready. Oh, you know me. I was ready. Hey, look, if somebody, I'll be honest. If somebody white had said something to me out the wrong side of their mouth, the next day it would have been on like popcorn.
Because I can
You know.
remember what it felt like after watching
Mhm.
that first hour
Yeah.
and going to work, and
Mhm.
all the white people are like, what is she gonna say? You
Uh-huh.
but I can remember that feeling. But we have to remember back then, that was the first
Mhm.
time I think that even though we had our history in the books, we were able to read about it, learn about it, take it in,
Mhm.
and actually absorb it. It was the first time we actually saw the history of someone living, his
Mhm.
family, and being
Mhm.
able to identify with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the first time we saw it.
Yeah. And I think what Alex Haley did, he showed us the 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 ugly side of slavery. I mean, he wrote a book about his family, and he just showed us the ugly side of slavery, a side that
But
we hadn't been taught in school, and that's the
no,
whole thing.
and
Yeah.
exactly. But see, that I think even with what he taught us, think about it, because
Mhm.
that was a white publishing company.
Mhm.
Imagine how much didn't make the book or how much didn't make the movie.
That was a thick book. Okay, so look,
So imagine with
yeah,
everything that had gone on that he had
mhm,
accounts of that he
yeah.
couldn't put in there. It might have
I
been too
remember
strong.
that. I remember the hard copy of that book.
Oh
That
yeah,
book
I
was
read the book
thick.
too. Oh,
That was like
absolutely.
a that was like an 8 by, you know,
Like
what's
this,
a 5 by 7?
long.
Yeah, it was like an 8 by 11 book. Yeah, it was about that big. It's like what? He put
Yeah,
everything in. And for a little Black History fact, whenever you come to this area, go to Annapolis,
yeah,
where the
yeah,
ship landed, and you'll see a
yeah,
statue out there of Kunta
yeah,
Kinte out there
yeah.
in Annapolis, Maryland, at the boardwalk in Annapolis.
But I
So
would encourage, yeah, but I would encourage anybody to go
yeah.
back and look at it again. If you have seen it, look at it again.
Mhm.
Uh, Try and encourage your children and your grandchildren to sit
Yeah.
down and watch it. You know,
Mhm.
because it introduces you. I think it introduces you to the soft side of what we have available today. Because you got to remember,
Mhm.
we didn't have internet back then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now everything is available to you, uh,
Mhm.
and it's going to give it to you in more graphic terms, right?
Mhm.
But I would encourage anybody to go back and have their children and grandchildren watch the movie because it gives you a softer side of what was real.
Mhm.
Even though we know that Haley's story was real,
Yeah. Yeah.
it it
Mhm.
I think it capsulized it a little bit so we didn't have to get the
Mhm.
bearing of the truth.
Yeah.
That's what would have been even rougher. And yeah, you would have slapped that white coworker when you went to work.
Mhm. But then, I hate to say it, some people got beat down after the first
They
couple
did.
of nights. I mean,
They
because
did.
people just got frustrated. The frustrations came out. And that's what we have to do now. We have to I think if we let our frustrations out again, we can get some movement on uh, this society and what's going on in this country. I think we're laid back too much that we're becoming complacent to what's going on in this country now. because like I said, the kids don't know about the Black history. I mean, if you ask probably kids in junior high school in the seventh, eighth, and ninth about the March on Washington, they think it was just an ordinary march. They wouldn't know about it. Okay, you ask them about Roy Wilkins and some of those older guys, they can't tell you about them.
Can't tell you.
You know,
Can't tell you.
because they're not learning that stuff.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
And that's why it's so important that, because parents today are different. They're young,
hmm
right? So I think that it's going to be up to a lot of it is going to be up to the
hmm
grandparents, because even though we are now in our 60s and then going into 70s, we still have a young kind of persona. We still have our faculties.
hmm
We understand where we are. We understand where we are as far as this country is concerned and where we've come from.
Right.
Young people that have had these babies over the last, 10 years or so, I don't think that they're totally in tune with Black history enough to be able to educate their children, because you got to remember where we are in the
hmm
age of social media, and everything is, basically dating sites, TikTok. Well, hell, I love TikTok because I'm on there. But I think it's up to us as grandparents now to give that history so that there's an
hmm
understanding, because we can actually connect the dots going back from 1619, believe it or not. We can connect those dots because we know our time periods, we understand our history because we were taught history. Uh, our parents did tell us about Black history. So you can
hmm
start to connect those dots where the younger folks, they just can't. They've lost something. I'm not sure what it is.
And people got to realize Candace Owens is not Black history. Okay.
Oh, dear Lord, don't
You
say it.
know,
Please don't say
she is
it.
not. She is not Black history. She is something else history. Okay. But she is not Black history. And that's another thing we got to realize. We're always going to have those type of people out there in the community playing down Black history, playing down like we don't need to know anything about it.
Yeah, but I'm
That
gonna have to disagree with you though, Reggie.
mhm.
I'm gonna have
What?
to disagree with you on that.
She ain't Black
She
history.
is,
Okay.
she is part of Black history. The
No,
part
she
that says don't do
The
this.
part the part I leave in the bathroom and the toilet, yeah, that's the part she part of, okay?
Yeah, I mean, she is part of Black history because it shows you how misinformed some of us can be, uh, how misguided a lot of us can be, and drink the Kool-Aid. So she is a part of Black history, not the
hmm
part that I'm proud of, but
hmm
she is a Black woman. She has her beliefs, and
hmm
that's fine if that's what she wants to believe, but she is not invited to the picnic. So,
She ain't invited nothing. And you look at Ray J. I mean, doesn't Ray J realize the history that guy has, and he wants to now hang out with him and do a project with him? We see the problem with us is we just don't understand history. Okay, we don't understand that this man recently tried to take over the government of the United States. Okay, no telling
mhm,
what he would have done to us if he had taken over this government and be able to carry on tyranny for years to come. Okay,
right,
but
right,
you as
right.
and Ray J probably don't even know who Harriet Tubman is. Okay, so then you find somebody like that, you think he's smarter than that, wants to hang out with him, telling me they're gonna do some business together. We trying to remain irrelevant, and that's what happens to a lot of these entertainers. Okay, when they lose that edge, okay, they want to do something to get themselves back in the spotlight. But look, dude, when your calendar is out, it's out. Okay,
Yeah,
you had a good run, go enjoy life.
yeah,
Call Tony Breedlove up. She might have a job for you driving the bus, but enjoy life. Don't try to reinvent yourself the wrong way, because what you're doing, your legacy and what people thought about you is going right down the drain because of the fact of the people you want to hang out with, because you're trying to put money back into your pocket.
yeah, yeah.
Hell, does Ray J even have a high school education?
We don't
Okay,
know.
he thinks he's that smart that he can go out and create something for us. He ain't creating crap for me, okay? All right, he ain't doing nothing for me. So I don't know what blacks he think he gonna do something for.
Again, these are young people who do not understand their history.
You know.
You know, instead of him, having the conversation with people who are doing something, he's in those circles where he could get to anybody, like Michael Eric Dyson. He could get to Michael Eric Dyson.
No, he can't get on that level. That's the whole problem.
But the problem is that he could, if he had the right direction. If he had something in his mind that says, you know what I'm doing ain't quite right. He's in those circles. You see Michael Eric Dyson at every red carpet event that you can name that has a level of blackness to it. He could get to him. He's just not there. Something in his head keeps saying young and ignorant. He's not there. But he thinks he is.
He ain't there now.
Just let him have it.
Yeah, he ain't there now. But he gonna lose his he's gonna lose his ticket to the cookout.
Yeah. So
he's gonna lose his ticket to the cookout.
What do you do? You let him fall. And unfortunately, that fall is it's a big way down, and it's a heavy hurt. But if that's what it's going to take, for him to wake up. Then
then you take this guy who used to be president of the United States. He likes surrounding himself with so-called entertainers, okay? Because he feels like he's a step above them, okay? They said he never will surround himself with intellectual blacks. Dyson is not the type of person that will get invited to come sit down and have a meeting with him, because intellectually he can't deal with what he has to say.
No.
But then you take his view of a black company is those entertainers, and that's what, if you look at it, he always had entertainers around him. Never intellectual people. I mean, Cornel West would be too much for him.
Oh dear God,
He'd probably have a heart attack trying to deal with Cornel West.
His head would explode. Whereas if we had an opportunity to sit down with these black men, it would be mind blowing.
Yeah.
It would encourage us. It would keep us on that track of what's real.
And I tell you, what you need to do is go back and listen to Michael Eric Dyson's sermon from this past Sunday. Look it up on the internet.
Okay. Mind blowing. Mind blowing, huh? Wow.
If you ain't already, like the old folks say, you ain't already turned your life over to Jesus, when he finished with you that sermon, you be down on the altar. You be down
that part.
Giving your life to Jesus.
Oh my.
I mean, his Lord have mercy.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait.
His wife is a minister too. I never heard her preach before.
Yeah, I heard that.
But Lord have mercy, he was at West Friendship Baptist Church in Dallas on Sunday.
Ooh.
And he laid the law down. But if you go back and listen to all his sermons, he lays the law down.
Yeah.
I got a book here now. Henry Ray just got his newest book.
Yeah. Have you started?
No, because I got so many books. This is what I'm reading now.
Oh, that looks heavy.
Girl, I'm gonna read it. We're gonna talk about this. I might even call her, see can she be on the show.
Wait a minute, I gotta send me the title again. Send me the title.
I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
It's and it goes, we're getting a little off topic there, but it talks about racism, white evangelical racism
That's
over the
heavy.
past years. And
That's
when
heavy.
you read, I just give you one little hint. When you read, everybody thought Billy Graham was this great preacher,
Oh,
okay? But Billy Graham was also, along with being a great preacher, he was a great racist too.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, and he was like he did not want to march on Washington. He got Sherry Ann out. Well, Sherry Ann, all you do is read all the time, so you probably could suck a small book up with a biscuit. But look, he did not like what Martin Luther King did, and he could not stand it. You
Oh,
know, he could not stand it.
I gotta get that book.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good read. Haven't
I gotta get
finished
that book.
reading yet, but we know Sherry Ann in her spare time,
Oh
instead of
God,
looking
yeah.
at television and looking at some of the great shows on TV, she's reading a book. Okay.
Yeah, we know,
But
Sarah.
yeah, so again, when you look at if you look at modern day Black history, Dyson would be somebody to celebrate during the month of
Exactly.
February. Cornell
Exactly.
West would
Cornell
be
West.
gosh, I can't even think
Absolutely.
of the other man's name from Harvard that does the always digging up Black families and everything. Oh
Oh, shoot.
no. His name is on the tip of my tongue. Well, I can see his face. I can't even think of
I
his
can
name
see
now,
his face.
but it's a lot. It's a lot of it's a lot of people now, modern day people that are Black history.
Yeah, yeah.
And and they need to be celebrated, and we need to. You know, I don't. We look. I don't have a problem with entertainers. I don't have a problem with athletes, but I think they too need to step into the ring and help with Black History Month and be pushing it. I think too many of the athletes and entertainers are stuck on themselves or stuck on the money.
Mhm.
You know, and not really giving back to the community like they should be, even at this time of the year or any other time of the year. Because for them it's all about the dollar. You take somebody like a Jay-Z and a Beyonce, I'm pretty sure they are well meaning in some of the work they do for the Black community, but at the same time, if they get too Black, they might be out of money. The
Yeah,
money
because
might stop.
look, I'm proud of the fact that these are two Black folks. Black
Mm-hmm.
love, power. I get it.
Uh-huh.
I'm all for it. I'm not gonna say I'm their biggest fans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just not. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm proud of the fact that they are two Black people that have made it to the
Mm-hmm.
celebrity that they are in. I get it, and I understand how making it in the arts or music
Mm-hmm.
can be very lucrative. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But when all you do is write a check to foundations and I don't see you,
Mm-hmm.
then I got a problem with you
Mm-hmm.
because you should be using your celebrity in other ways, I would think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but see, the thing is, Jay-Z is at the table now with Goodell of the NFL, the NFL commissioner. He's putting on the Super Bowl program. He's at the table, and I think a lot of times when we get to the table, we get afraid of offending. We don't want to offend master, okay, on the plantation. We don't offend him because he'll throw us off the plantation and then get someone else to do the work.
Well, I think he should take his chances because he's got to be able to show that he gives a crap about
Yeah.
these Black players who are
Mhm.
clearly not getting what the white players are getting.
Mhm.
Their contracts don't look like anything near what these
Yeah.
white players are
Look,
looking like.
this
You
is a
know,
time for Jay-Z to fight for Black coaches.
yeah,
Okay, he's at the table. Get in the
exactly.
ear
There's
of
plenty of them out there.
yeah, get in the ear of Goodell and say, Goodell, you got to do better than this. You got to get with some of these owners and say, look, you all need to hire Black coaches. Why? Over the last couple of weeks, no Black coaches have been hired. You only have one in the league now, okay, and that's the coach at Mike Tomlin at Pittsburgh, okay. That's how you wield your power in the boardroom.
He's not going to do that.
Yeah, because he know he gonna get Goodell and the owners will say, "Hey, well, Jay-Z, thank you. We don't need you no more," and find somebody else that's gonna lick their bootstrap.
Well, then you
Okay.
take that and you move on to something else.
Yeah, so we got to be. Who was a rapper that had all the cars but never got his license? Was that Rick Ross?
I don't know.
One of those guys, what they did, they gave their son a franchise for the 18th birthday or something. Instead of buying them a car, they gave them a franchise. I think it was a Papa John's franchise or something. Gave them a franchise for their birthday, where he was showing them, "Hey, I'm gonna start you out young as a business person and allow you to grow as a business person because you need to know how to be self-sufficient."
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Oh, I want to say it was Rick. I know it was one of them big ones, one of them big guys, one of them fat guys. I can't think of which one it was. Let me see. Yeah, so let me see. Rapper.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Sorry, iced tea sip time. Oh, we only have 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Rick Ross.
Okay.
Rick Ross, gave his son a Wingstop franchise for his 16th birthday.
All right now.
That's what I call doing.
Black
Okay.
wealth, building black wealth.
Well, yeah. And I think Rick Ross too just got his. I think he just got his license. Even though he had got 50 cars in his yard, I think he just got his driver's license.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
But the thing is, he's shown him at age 16, what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, son, this is yours. I'm starting you out. I'm starting you out at 16. Okay.
Right.
Where most kids not even thinking about it at 16.
No, they don't even have an opportunity like that.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he's going to shadow him. I'm pretty sure most of the work for right now be on Rick Ross until his son gets 18, 19, or 20, and goes to college and do what he wants to do and get out. But at least he's got something started. He can take him up there on a Saturday afternoon and say, "Okay, son, you're going to work here I want you to hang in here this Saturday afternoon, learn the business."
Right.
Not sitting at home on a daggone PS5 playing games all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to give it. Rick Ross made a boss move. Okay.
I have to give it to him.
Yeah.
I have to give it to him.
He did it. So you can look at Magic Johnson as being part of Black history. Someone who owns a lot of businesses. Okay.
God, yeah.
In the Black community. Okay. Here in DC, you got the Magic Johnson theater, and then over at Howard University, he has a Starbucks at Howard University, a couple other places here in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at Shaq. I think Shaq owns half of Papa John's.
Yeah.
He got a bunch of them. I think he got 200 or 300 Papa John's.
Yeah.
But those guys are creating black wealth for their family and their kids, and
for the community. Because they're putting people to work. They're putting people to work.
Yeah. Shaq said one time one of his boys said, "Daddy, we rich." He said, he said, "Son, no, you're not rich. I'm rich." He told him, said, "Look, son, I'm rich. You're not." The child said, "Look, if you want to get a piece of this, you got to work for it."
I hear you.
Yeah, so we got a lot of people. We can take the good of today and the bad of yesterday and combine it and have some good Black history. And we got to remember the bad from yesterday. And we can't let that go away.
No, we can't. So this is going to be my challenge for everybody. For the month of February, I want you to look up Black history. And I want you to find, whether it's an inventor, someone who has accomplished something with great adversity, look up someone you don't know. Just find a name that you don't know and read about that person and post it for other people to see. Something that you have not, because now you're sharing something that somebody probably doesn't know about.
Yeah.
And that's how we're all going to learn. So I'm encouraging and challenging everybody to find something and someone in Black history that you don't know. Read on it and post it for other people to see it as well.
Yeah.
That's how we learn about stuff we don't know. Yep. Yep.
You know, I'm not bragging about myself, but I'm Black history.
Yeah,
Look at
we
my
all
name.
are. I know you are because you a judge.
Yeah, I'm a little judge. You know, in that particular court, I was the first African American to win in that particular court. I'm in probate court.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so,
Well,
trying to do a little something.
I'm going to share my legacy. My legacy is Madam C.J. Walker, Sarah Breedlove, who is my fourth great aunt. And she is
What was her name? What was her name again?
Sarah Breedlove, Madam C.J. Walker. She's self-made millionaire, first Black female millionaire, and she made her millions by creating Black hair products.
Yeah.
Some people say she invented the pressing comb. She did not. She created hair products. Maybe that's why I always bald his damn hair. So,
what movie was she on? What movie was she in?
That was the one that was featured on Netflix.
Yeah, with no, she was in the movie. The Netflix movie was her by herself, wasn't it? Yeah, it was her by herself because I mean she kicked her husband to the curb. Then she and the other lady got into it because the other lady.
That was her. That was her. Oh, sorry, I've been up since 4. That was her rival. Because the rival had made a hair care product, and she just improved on it with her own ingredients.
Right. But they never gave her actual name. They always just went with Madam C.J. Walker.
Sarah Breedlove.
Oh, see that's some Black history I learned tonight.
Yeah.
And everything.
Sarah Breedlove. So yeah. So that's it for me. I don't know if I have.
Sharon says she's going to be a renowned author, but my cousin is the prime minister of Barbados. Is that the one they arrested for bribery? And I couldn't be prouder. You know, I got a message, Sharon.
Sharon.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
And look, Rihanna gonna make history. She got the future president of Barbados.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Her and ASAP.
I heard that. I heard that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very proud of our history. I'm part of our culture. Even down to the resilience of our ancestors who, braved and come over across the seas. I'm just proud of our culture. And I'm proud to be a Black woman.
Yeah, I'm proud to be a Black man.
As you should be. As you should
after all we've been through, hey, I'm still proud.
Yeah, because I think Black men go through it every day.
Yeah.
And as Black women, we do not give you your props. Where you're out here, fending off the wolves, other colors, still trying to make that dollar, bringing it home, taking care of your families and taking care of business, and still being able to be a part of the community by providing services to, whether it's, the churches or the children or whatever. Black men are a strong man. And I thank you. We don't say it enough.
Got to be. And then we just got to get the young people on the right track. Lord have mercy.
It'll happen.
Yeah. I hope I get to see it. Yeah, I hope I get to see it.
I hope I do too, Reginald. Yeah. I hope so too.
So, you doing your show tomorrow night?
I am. I got to figure out what I was going to do. Hang on. What are we? Oh, I know what it was. There you go. So you're a 2, but you want a 10.
Yeah, that's right. I want a 10. It's gonna be hanging on my arm. You know, until I want a 10. 10 plus. You a 10, Tony, okay? Hey, what can I say?
I'm a strong 5.
No, you're a strong 10.
I'm a strong 5. I
You're a
really
strong
am.
10.
Well, thank you for saying that.
You are a strong
Obviously, you
10.
don't know your math.
You are a woman of substance. You're very
Thank you, sir.
successful. You're doing a whole lot. You are a 10.
Thank you, sir. Thank
You are a
you.
10.
And you are too. So, you ready to close this out?
Let's close this sucker out.
All right. Thank you for having me tonight. I was sitting in for Miss
I'm
Cherry
so
Ann.
glad to have you. You know,
As the people in the chat room can see, Cherry Ann is
she's feeling much, she's feeling much better. So I expect to see her next week.
all right. Thank you, Miss Chera. And you're a 10 and you're 110. How's that?
No,
Um,
Sherry Ann is a 1. And,
that's so not nice. Not nice. Oh my
uh,
God.
let's
Any
her
last
get off
words?
before she takes something in.
Right? Any last words?
Oh no, we just work with our youth, please, people. We got to
Yeah.
work with them. We got to get them on the right track. They are our future, okay? And if we don't get them on the right track, our future and their future is going to be doomed, okay? Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I totally agree. Well,
Yeah.
thank you everybody for tuning in to Real World News TV with Mr. Reggie Kearney, that handsome black man there that we should be celebrating. And also Miss Jerry Ann Tappan, who is in the chat room. She has been out and she is in recovery. It seems like she has recovered. So you'll
Yep.
see her back here next week.
Yeah, she can't get out of it now. She spent too much time in that chat room tonight.
Right, right. So I know
Yeah.
she's well now. But I want
Yeah.
you to come on back next week and join Real World News TV the same time every Tuesday night. The show always starts at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 Central, and 8:30 on the East Coast. Make sure that you follow them on Facebook so that you can get show notifications.
No, her thumbs work fine. Okay.
So you can get show notifications of the upcoming shows. Tomorrow night, I'd like for you to join me and Yvonne Baker on Hot Topics Talk Radio TV. Tomorrow night, the show topic is You're a 2, but you want a 10. So we're going to be chopping it up tomorrow night and having some fun because Wednesday is hump day, and that's what we do, is have a little fun to get you through the rest of your week. So I want you to come on back tomorrow night with Hot Topics Talk Radio TV. The show starts at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific, 9 Central, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. And again, we thank you so much for your continued support and happy Black History Month to you. Do something nice for your fellow man, your fellow Black man, and your fellow woman, Black woman. Okay, let's treat ourselves as kings and queens. That's where we come from, y'all. All
Yep.
righty, so we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. I gotta try and figure out how to take these darn banners down before I go. All right. So we're going to see you back here tomorrow night and next week on Real World News TV with Cherry Ann Tappan and Reggie Kearney. So with that being said, we are out, y'all. Out.
Good night.